It began not with thunder, not with fire in the sky, or trumpets echoing across the mountains. It was morning, ordinary, unremarkable, until it was not. The world woke to a vision that defied every expectation, every hope, and every fear. Suspended above 8 cities, a figure appeared, radiant, silent, unmistakable. Jerusalem, New York, Tokyo, Lagos, Rio de Janeiro, Mumbai, London, Manila, each one bathed in a shaft of light, each one held in the gaze of a man in plain robes, eyes heavy with sorrow and something deeper than language. There were no words, not at first, no voice cracked the sky, but every soul heard, no, felt, a message pulsed through the marrow of being.
Peace be upon you, I have returned.
It was not a sound, but a certainty. In that moment, the world paused, traffic stilled, conversations faltered. The endless scroll of news and nonsense stopped mid-flicker. On distant battlefields, weapons lowered, soldiers stared skyward, their hearts pounding. In trading rooms, the markets froze, numbers meaningless. Satellites wheeled in orbit, cameras trained on the impossible. The image was everywhere, on every screen, in every whisper, on the lips of the hopeful and the fearful alike. Then the eruption, social media ignited with hashtags and disbelief. Had he came, #fake Messiah, mass hallucination. Pundits, preachers, and professors filled the airwaves with interpretations, denials, and desperate explanations. Some cried miracle, some cried hoax. Tech companies scrambled to analyze pixels, to build apps that could track miracles or threats or glitches in the matrix. Governments dispatched drones, armies, diplomats. Philosophers debated through the night, while the faithful sank to their knees, tears streaming down their faces. And yet, amid the chaos, the figure remained, silent, unwavering, present. For 7 days, the world watched. Pilgrimages began, but no one reached him. Protesters and worshippers alike gathered under the glowing presence, but none could approach. It was as if the air itself held them back, as if the moment demanded only witness. On the 8th day, something shifted. In each city, a single individual felt the world tilt, a ripple in the air, an ancient gaze settling upon them. They were not saints or celebrities. They were ordinary, flawed, and unremarkable in the eyes of the world. A Buddhist monk, deep in meditation. A scholar hunched over dusty pages. A nun in the slums, bandaging wounds the world ignored. A child lying in the grass, watching the clouds drift by. A gang member, trembling with regret and rage. A Hindu doctor, haggard from the night shift. A Hasidic man walking to prayer, lost in thought. A fisherwoman casting her net at dawn, hands rough with work. To each, a single word thrummed in the depths of their being, a call older than language.
Come.
And so they did, quietly, without fanfare, without cameras or crowds. They left behind their routines, their doubts, their ordinary days, and followed an invitation that made no promises and gave no explanations. The world, hungry for spectacle, was left to speculate and wait. Days passed. The sun rose and set. The figure remained, untouched by time, as the 8 chosen moved through their silent journeys. People watched, hoping for signs, for miracles, for answers. Instead, there was only waiting. On the 21st day, the silence broke. Across 8 cities, in the language of each place, the figure spoke again. His words were not thunderous proclamations, but gentle, unyielding reminders, words that cut deeper than condemnation.
This is my last reminder and message. To my followers, you turned my name into franchises and factions. That was never my way. You dissected the Trinity like a riddle to solve, forgetting it was a holy mystery to revere. You've chained my presence to cathedrals and wealth. I never asked for stone and spectacle. To every couples, you treat marriage like ownership, not sacred trust. That bond was meant to mirror grace, not control. You demand loyalty, but forget tenderness. You bind with law what was meant to bloom through love. You reduce love to rules and roles. Where is the daily choice, the reverence, the mercy? To the sects and divisions, you split what I meant to make whole. You drew lines where I poured unity. You weaponized difference. You speak of love, but war with your own. Your loyalty is to labels, not to me. You defend doctrines, not hearts. To churches, you filled pews but emptied souls. You taught fear where I offered freedom. You preached prosperity, not repentance. You loved applause more than truth. I overturned tables once. I see now you rebuilt them with gold. About heaven and hell, you used my father's house to frighten children and manipulate the grieving. You sold paradise and damnation like merchandise. Who gave you the keys? You turned judgment into spectacle. You preach fear, but where is your faith?
Then came the light. It did not blind, but revealed. For a moment, each person saw themselves, unvarnished and true. Hopes hidden, cruelties denied, dreams deferred, kindnesses almost given. It was unbearable and beautiful. And then, as quietly as he had arrived, he was gone. No ascension, no thunder, only silence. In that silence, the witnesses moved. The monk opened his mountain home to all seekers. The nun brokered peace where none believed it possible. The gang member wept, then became a mentor. The girl gave daily to the poor. The doctor served in the forgotten places. The Hasidic man wrote a letter to the stranger. The scholar burned his book and learned to listen. The fisherwoman led prayers at sea. The world watched, uncertain whether to believe or forget. But beneath the noise, a question lingered, gentle and inescapable. You always had the choice.